Yeah, okay. Any views expressed are the opinion of the guest. That's not a representation because the programming reflects that politicking with 4 eyes. It's really no competition. Suffocating with the dope. You know I be twisting. Real ninjas out in the field. Now we cotton picking. Not to mention our intention to cover topics and many of the subjects. I got more lines than the deli at the Publix. With King Pharaoh, PoPolitickin, I'm pistol whipping. Rappers jeopardizing hip-hop position, my opposition, intuition, prediction like writers on The Simpsons. To witness the glimpses from higher up dimensions. My bitches be fighting gremlins like Phoebe Cakes. Let me cook stovetop oven, easy bakes. Hydroponic with them seaweed flakes. Yeah, these rappers started from the bottom, power bottom. TD Jakes, unfollowed. Talking about have you ever been swallowed? Regardless of race, color, or creed, you get Apollo'd. We politicking, ticking, we straight politicking, ticking. When it's a great show, you got to listen to that politicking, ticking. This for the politicking, ticking. We straight politicking, ticking. When it's a great show, you got to listen to that politicking, ticking. The whole squad on the mission, you got to listen. We politickin', it's so dope when it kick in. You can get in where you fit in. We straight politickin'. The whole squad on the mission, you got to listen. You know what this is when we politickin'. My money long like division, I proposition to put a fist in. We straight politickin'. Hey yo, I rise like the sun in the east, running the streets. Same people that was coming in peace, some in the beast on the microphone. It's never a long and hard task. For God, I'm gonna smash they blog and podcast. Introduction to journalism 101 with Pharaoh, politicking about where I'm from and what I do. What's up? It gotta be good. Interviewing everybody, you know they probably could. Take all the blood, sweat, and tears, working all them years. Putting in 10,000 hours, it empowers careers. From the Baby and Megan Thee Stallion to Yo Gotti. High as a kite, jet life, currency in the party. With MC Light, J Prince said I rap a lot. Super Saiyan Black Kakarot with a Macintosh laptop. In my Apple Watch, smoking Fraggle Rocks. 4 eyes, got more lines and hooks than a tackle box. What? The whole squad on the mission, you got to listen. We politickin', it's so dope when it kick in. You can get in where you fit in. We straight politickin'. The whole squad on the mission, you got to listen. You know what this is when we politickin'. My money long like division, I proposition to put a fist in. We straight politickin'. The whole squad on the mission, you got to listen. We politickin', it's so dope when it kick in. You can get in where you fit in. We straight politickin'. The whole squad on the mission, you got to listen. You know what this is when we politickin'. My money long like division, I proposition to put a fist in. We straight politickin'. Hey yo, I rise like the sun in the east, running the streets. Same people that was coming in peace, some in the beast on the microphone. It's never a long and hard task. For God, I'm gonna smash they blog and podcast. Introduction to journalism 101 with Pharaoh, politicking about where I'm from and what I do. What's up? It gotta be good. Interviewing everybody, you know they probably could. Take all the blood, sweat, and tears, working all them years. Putting in 10,000 hours, it empowers careers. From the Baby and Megan Thee Stallion to Yo Gotti. High as a kite, jet life, currency in the party. With MC Light, J Prince said I rap a lot. Super Saiyan Black Kakarot with a Macintosh laptop. In my Apple Watch, smoking Fraggle Rocks. 4 eyes, got more lines and hooks than a tackle box. What? The whole squad on the mission, you got to listen. We politickin', it's so dope when it kick in. You can get in where you fit in. We straight politickin'. The whole squad on the mission, you got to listen. You know what this is when we politickin'. My money long like division, I proposition to put a fist.
All right. Can you hear me still, bro?
You good? You there?
Can you hear me still?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, cool. Yo, I had to restart my modem. It was fucking crazy,
That's all
bro.
good. We
But it
back on right
should
now.
be
We
good now.
live right now. Yeah, we
All right,
live right now.
it should be
All
straight.
right, we're gonna start. All right, welcome back to PoPolitickin.com, your home for self-help meets hip-hop. Right now, we're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X. Make sure you check me out on Spotify and Apple. We're 1212 on Place to Be with AFRO. How you doing, bro?
Yo, what up, my brother? I'm feeling good.
Man, I'm glad to have you on, bro.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I've been like I was telling you, so I started doing my podcast in 2008, and my goal was always to interview like the upcoming rappers before they blow up, and then also I end up interviewing legends in the process. But I've been hearing your name, and I've been seeing you, and I was like, damn, okay, he tight. But I had no idea you was so young. I'm like, damn, I think he said you like 26 or something. I'm like, oh
Right,
shit.
yeah.
I thought you was like in your 30s at least. So I'm like, shit, he young like that doing it. So you doing your thing, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Really appreciate it, bro.
How do you feel about as far as how do you feel? Do you feel like you getting your success that you should be getting, or you feel like you still got a lot of work to do?
It's a
How you feel right now in your stage of career?
it's a balance for me because I feel like I put in a good amount of work in the past 10 years, but I feel like it's still at the beginning stage. Like I'm still learning quite a bit as far as musically and song structure and making songs and production and just developing myself as an artist. I feel like I'm still in the beginning. Like I wouldn't say beginning stages, but I still have quite a bit to go.
Okay. And I was kind of looking, I was reading, it was actually saying like, I think it was saying like you first went viral in 2014. So that's kind of when you started 10 years ago.
Yeah, almost 10, creeping up. Around September, October this year, it'll be 10 years that I was put to the public, that I was shown to the public.
Okay. So just take us back before you had the Afro, man. What got you into the game? Like what made you wanna do this?
For me, I was around 9 years old when I first heard Rakim. It was Microphone Fiend. And I was already surfing on YouTube quite a bit at that age. And I came across Microphone Fiend, the thumbnail for the video. I'm like, yo, that looks dope. Just the style, the gold chains. And I was like, yo, that looks ill. So I clicked on it. And immediately the beat drew me in. I'm like, yo, this beat is crazy. It was like one of the best things I had heard at that time. And then I heard Rakim start to spit in his flow, and I just instantly, that was it for me. I considered myself a hip hop junkie from then. So I always credit Rakim for introducing me for that love for hip hop.
Yeah, I saw you redid one of his albums. You just did the production over.
Yeah, I did just little fun passion projects. I redid all three Rakim solo albums. I remixed them. I just threw my own production on them, and literally just for the love and for the passion project, you know.
That's cool, man. And I would say, so were you started rapping at first, or were you doing production at first? Which came first?
I was emceeing. I was rhyming first. I remember picking up the pen around 11 or 12 years old. That's when I really started to take it seriously, because I had fell in love with hip hop, but me taking that step to be an MC, that clicked in my head around like 11 years old, and I was like, I really want to do this. So MCing came first, and then production came a little bit later when I was around, I'm going to say 16 or 17. That's when I didn't take it as seriously at first. I was just like, oh, that seems like fun. And then a couple years later, around like, I'm going to say 20, that's when I really started to take the beat making and producing seriously. I'm like, oh, I actually want to be a producer too. So but the love for MCing definitely came first.
And then like your style, like I was talking about, as far as your style and your lyrical prowess, how did you develop your distinct flow and your wordplay? How did that come about?
For me, it was listening to all my favorite MCs. I was a big at the time Rakim, and then after Rakim, I was introduced to Big Daddy Kane, and then Cool G Rap, and then MF. Sorry about that. And then MF Doom, Guru, Jizza, Method Man, Ghostface, and then I just started finding this big gumbo pot that I would call of MC styles, and I would study them through and through, day by day, even in school, in middle school, high school. And I would take a lot of time and sit in my room and just break down their verses and see if I could spit them. Even Twista, Chip Fu Schnickens. That's all the stuff that I was listening to from around that time.
It's funny you say that because that's actually the same thing I did as far as like even with me just being an interviewer, I used to go back and just listen to everybody. Anybody I can listen to, I just listen to them and just get their style. I feel like you got to be a student of the game. I know a lot of people, they're not a lot of these days, but I feel like you have to be a student of the game to know, you know, to bring what you want to bring to the game. You got to know history.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay. And then far as and then I was saying, so they said you became viral in 2014 because you had collaborations with DJ Premier and Rod the Rugged Man. How did you hook up with them?
Well, RA, he had through a contest when I was around 16 or 17, and I had entered the contest, and he picked out my selection. He's like, yo, I love this kid. This kid's verse is crazy. His cover to this, or his spin on the song, definition of a rap flow. And before I even won the contest, we started hanging out, and then I started doing freestyle videos that started to get a little bit of buzz on the YouTube. And then after that, RA was like, yo, let's click up together. I want to take you, to Europe and show you that there's a bunch of different crowds out there that love hip hop as well. And I went from being this kid to recording in my room over YouTube beats, and to going to Europe and Germany and the UK and Switzerland and all places I never thought I would ever go to in my life. And I gotta give RA a bunch of love for that. So that's how I linked up with R. And then with Primo, it was unbelievable. Like I got to work with Primo. Everything's unreleased, but we got to work for a couple weeks straight, and we knocked out about 9 or 10 songs, me and Primo. And that was a dream come true as well, because Primo still to this day is my favorite producer of all time. So being able to work with my personal favorite is absolutely beyond a dream come true.
So why is it unreleased so far?
Well, Primo, rightfully so. Primo's a busy man. I mean, Primo, is dropping, heat almost every year, every other year. He's busy. So whenever he's ready, I'm ready. That's how I look at it. But yeah, I'm ready.
And then as far as like the television, I know you was on the Jimmy Fallon show, Queen Latifah, the TV show The Breaks. So I heard you on that song. I was like, the one song where I tagged you in, I was like, man, you kind of talking a little shit a little bit, but I was like, sometimes you gotta talk a little shit. We use like writer, actor, producer. I was like, damn,
right.
That's tight. Yeah, right. I was like, that's tight. But I was like, how do you feel with the acting, like being on The Breaks? And then I was saying you was on the talk shows too, but how do you feel like adding that dimension to your career?
I've always wanted to be on the movie screen because I'm a big movie nerd ever since I was a boy, since I was younger. And being on the screen was another dream of mine. So The Breaks was just an awesome opportunity, being able to land an audition and having to fight for the role too, because I had to go through 3 different screen tests. So acting has always been a big passion of mine as well. And eventually I even want to branch into filmmaking. I want to direct and write movies as well. I got a bunch of scripts here that I'm just piling up. And it's just a big plan that I have in the next couple years. Like I always want to act, and I'm always going to be an MC at heart. MCing's never going to leave for me. Even if I'm making movies, I'm still going to go back and forth between making movies and acting and MCing, and also dishing out albums and projects for the fans as well.
And then as far as like you being a younger MC, how do you feel about staying true to your roots, but then staying relevant in the ever evolving landscape of hip hop?
Well, to me, one of the more important things is to never lose myself, because in the industry, it's very, very easy to do so, or to just sell your integrity, whichever way that is, whatever is your moral compass. A lot of people are very easy to sell it for a quick buck or big bag. So for me, I just stick with my roots. My roots, I know that I'm a nerd at heart, And if I have that passion and that nerd, pizzazz going on in my brain, I know that I'll still be that, as long as I don't lose that, I'll still have that integrity, and I'll still have what I was aiming for in the first place, which was, I'm a family man at first. I would love for my dreams to come true, but I'm also thinking about the people I love as well. So I just can't afford to sell my integrity. That's how I look at it.
What do you mean by what's selling your integrity to you?
To me, that's just getting them to do things that I don't want to do, as far as like specific roles that I don't want to get too much into, but just there's specific roles that they offer to a lot of like entertainers, and that can be pretty much any profession. But as far as like the acting and stuff, there's specific roles that I want to play, and there's specific roles I don't want to play. And I know that in the industry they tend to offer that to actors, just to push their boundaries and to see if they'll jump, But me, I'm not like that. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna stick to what I want to do, and nobody's gonna tell me otherwise. As far as like that profession.
Yeah, because some people, like, they don't even listen to music; they just watch TV. So that might be their first way of seeing you, and they just know you like that for the rest of your life. You don't want them to be knowing you like a drug dealer that beat on women on the road and shit. Like, you don't want to play that role. So yeah, right. I feel that.
Exactly. There's certain roles like that where it's just like, yo, like, and I can commend certain actors that take those roles, but for me, I know that's not me. Like there's certain things I know that I can play, and there's certain things where I'm just gonna stay away from, where I'm like, nah, like, I don't want my fans to look at me as like this evil scumbag, or like the stigma over me, or just things like that. So.
And then I'm in San Diego. I was reading you're from like Bellflower.
Yeah, I'm from LA County.
Yeah, I didn't know where that was. That's LA County.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Los Angeles County.
Yeah, I saw you was just out in San Diego like a month or two ago.
Yeah, I was in San Diego. We just did a show at a venue called Black Cat Bar. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, my homie Rick Scales. I saw you. I was like, okay, I see you.
Yeah, my guy Milky Wayne. He's the one who put it together, and my guy Bless Brando, LIE. Those are really good brothers. So I appreciate them, because Black Cat Bar, every time I go there, it's a pretty fun time.
And then I saw you so I was watching your Posse cuts yesterday, and there was two of them. One of them was like over 30 MCs, and the next one's 50. And at first, because I was watching, I think you just did an update you made a video talking about the updates, and you were saying, oh, I'm on this DJ K Slade, and I thought you was on the, because they did another one,
right? The rolling 50, rolling 110. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought you was on that one, but I saw you did your own thing. So I was going to ask you, so what made you want to do your own and not get on that one?
Yeah, well, I would have loved to go on the K Slade one if anybody reached out. I would have done that in a heartbeat. But
they hit up all them rappers and nobody hit you up. It was like 2,000 rappers in there.
Nobody hit me up. I would have loved it. I would have, in a heartbeat. I would be like, no problem. I would have had a verse to them in a day, no problem. But nobody. Yeah, but I want to shout out K Slade, rest in peace, because rolling 50 deep and rolling 110 and 200, those were big influences on my Posse cuts. There were a couple joints that influenced me to do that. I want to shout out Tony Touch. He had a 50 MCs cut as well. And the Anthem with RZA and Eminem and Chino XL, that classic joint with Sway and King and Tech put together, that was a big influence on the Posse cut. And the heart of it was just me reaching out. Like, I always wanted to put a spotlight on some MCs that I either love or appreciate or come across. And that's how I've always been. And I felt like the past couple of years, I haven't been able to do that, to give that opportunity or to be able to do that. So with these Posse cuts, I was like, I want to do it now. I want to be able to produce a whole mega Posse cut. And yeah, it's definitely passion projects for sure. But also the root of it is to put a spotlight on other MCs that might not have that name, or people might not know as much who they are.
Yeah, I want to shout out. I saw you had I know you had AOL the Mindbender on there, and then 4 Hours, he does all our intros. So you have 4 Hours on there too. God.
4 Eyes is one of my favorite MCs, one of my favorite people too. Me and 4 Eyes got a lot of stuff recorded. In fact, me and him got a new joint. I'm working on my next EP that I'm gonna drop around late August or early September, and Four Eyes is on that one.
Yeah, he told me to hit you up. Actually, I hit him up personally. I was like, man, who you think I should hit up? And he told me to hit you up. So here we go.
Yeah, that's my
guy out.
That's my dude. That's my guy.
And I'm gonna say, so how did you get you had a lot of people from overseas, so they're like people that you met during tours, or how did you meet all the overseas folks?
Or either connecting with them through IG too. I know my guy KMC, he's from Poland, and he's been showing a lot of support through posting. He has a magazine that he owns. It's called Blender Rap, I believe, blenderrap.fl. And he's been showing a lot of support through the years. And then I come to find out that he's an MC as well. So I'm like, you've been showing a lot of, you've been posting me on your magazine through the years and getting my projects out there. And you just been a really cool guy. So UMC, I'll send you the beat. Let's rock. And that's how KMC came along and from Poland. So little scenarios like that. Like, I'm just really easygoing. And if you're dope, if I think you're dope and you're dope, or you're just a really cool person and you can spit, you have a nice flow or a nice bounce, like, I'll rock with you,
Now you had one guy on there, he said he died in 2021. So I was like, you must have been working on this for a while.
Well, actually, that's my guy. That was one of my best friends, Trevor, rest in peace. And I have at the time I had a bunch of vocals from him still, because we recorded quite a bit through the years before he passed. And actually Posse he's on both. He's on Posse 1 and 2. And Posse 2 is actually the last acapella that I had from him. But I still have some unreleased music that we did together that's in my vault that I do plan on dropping sometime. But as far as like acapella that I can like mix around and put beats behind and stuff, that was the last verse that I had from him.
And then what's part? You said you working on 3. So I know 3 gonna be a bigger and better. So how many people you getting on 3?
Well, that's the thing. I'm debating one side of my head to other. I'm like, do I go bigger and go 60 MCs? Or do I just take it back a dial a bit and just focus on another 40 or go in between? The first one was 37 around there. Second one, 55. So for the final one, I'm debating if I want to go bigger for 60 or if I want to just stick with like 40. So I'm debating, because it's still a lot. Either way, it's still a lot.
And then, so how would you describe yourself to like the fans? How would you describe yourself?
I'm just a nerd. I'm honestly, I'm a regular dude that has a great opportunity to do what he loves. I'm really blessed. I'm really grateful for a lot of the dreams that have happened for me, like things that I thought would never happen, like working with Primo, working with Pete Rock, working with RA, working with, just working with Pharoah Monch, like my favorite artists, and being able to have that happen. I'm really grateful, because I know that sometimes it doesn't happen for certain people. So I want to be able to carry that torch for them, to let them know that, hey, that I'm very long-winded right now, but I'm just a nerd. I'm a nerd with morals. I'm a nerd with morals. I'm a family man. I love the MC. I love beats. I love hip hop. I love oldies. I love jazz. And yeah.
So what make you a nerd? Because my wife be trying to call me a nerd, and I'm like, I ain't no nerd. I'm a gangster. She's like, no, you a nerd. You be on Twitch. You be gaming. I'm like, they ain't got nothing to do with no nerd,
It's all about how you use the word. If someone's like, you're a nerd, I'm like, well, damn. But I'm a proud nerd. And to me, that just means a very knowledgeable person, that they're very passionate about something. You could be a nerdy mechanic. You can be a nerdy engineer if you know all these things. Like it's all about the knowledge that you acquire and how much you love it. Because you can be knowledgeable about something, but you be like, it's cool, but I know a couple things about it, but it's like, whatever. But there's certain things that, like emceeing or movies, that I love, that I'm like, hey, there's a lot of things that I know about. I'm not like a know-it-all, but I do know a lot of things about the shit that I really love.
So what's some of your favorite movies?
Oh, man. Day of the Dead, 1985. Bloodsport. Malcolm X. Training Day. I got posters all around here. Dawn of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead. Ernest Scared Stupid, Ernest Goes to Jail. I'm again, that just shows how nerdy I am, because they're just movies that people are
I
like,
fuck with Ernest. I wouldn't
okay,
think nobody would name
cool.
Ernest for their
That's my
favorite
dog.
movie though. That's wild.
That's my guy. That's my guy. Like, I got a big ass Ernest Scared Stupid poster right here in my room. I'm a psycho. Like, I'm a movie psycho in a good way.
That's what's up. And then I was checking out the drawing board. So you did everything. Sound like that was all you on the whole project.
Yeah, I mixed, mastered, and produced everything.
And then when I'm hearing drawing board, I'm hearing like in my mind, it's like, okay, back to the starting board. I'm starting over. Is that what it means, or what does it mean to you?
To me, it was definitely just taking a step back, reorganizing, deconstructing myself, and trying new things. As far as like my song Redemption, a lot of fans have never heard that side of me before, like the more personal, introspective, and especially that kind of beat that's more like vibey, if you will, or just more mellow and emotional. A lot of fans. So me putting more personal fro stuff into it, but also taking a step back and being like, hey, how can I better myself? How can I work on song structure? How can I work on better songs? How can I let the fans know that I'm not just a freestyler or just like an MC? I also want to be an artist. I also want to make projects and songs for you guys. So it was a whole bunch. It was a gumbo pot of me just taking a step back and trying to find myself again. And it's not like I lost myself at all. It's just like a couple years have passed by where I felt like I wasn't able to drop as much music as I wanted as far as projects. So drawing board was just like not an olive branch, but like a thank you to the fans, like for sticking around. And it was like a love letter. It was like an appreciation for the fans as well.
Yeah, I was watching. I actually saw the video with you and Queen Latifah, and she was like passing out stuff, and you was rapping. So, did you do that a lot? Were you like? Because I consider that like freestyling. Were you actually doing that?
Yeah,
like you...
off the top. Yeah, and for a minute, that was one of the big introductions for me, was the freestyling side of me. But as much as I'm grateful for it, it took me a little bit to break out of that and to let people know, hey, that's just one side. You know, it's just one side. As much as I appreciate the people tuning in and watching it, there were a lot of people that are like, that's all he can do is just freestyle. All he can do is just rap. He doesn't know how to actually be an artist. I would get that quite a bit, more than people would think. And so it took me a minute, to kind of break out of that bag.
Do you battle rap any, or you no?
Me personally, no, I don't battle rap. But I do watch.
You probably be a good battle rapper.
Thank you. Thank you.
You probably can get in there and do some things.
I appreciate it. I have had a couple offers through the years, but I'm just like, me personally, I really appreciate battle rap. I watch the hell out of it. I know almost all the leagues, like King of the Dot, Grind Time. I'm a big Scribble Jam. That's a more throwback for some people, but Scribble Jam, I watch that almost every day, still to this day. Even old battles that I've seen 100 times, because they appreciate battle rap. But me, I personally just want to focus more on the giving albums to fans side of me.
Okay. And then do you have any other projects you're working on right now?
Yeah, there's a couple. Right off the top, I want to shout out my brother MC Prospect. Like, this is going to be my first completely produced LP for another MC. I had worked on At the Sideshow with my brother 60 East. That's a 5-track EP that I produced, but this Prospect album is going to be my first full-length LP that I completely produced. And
I remember 60 East because we saw he from Ontario, right?
Yeah.
We was watching the video like 60 East. I'm like, okay, yeah.
And speaking real quick, I'm actually going to be for anybody watching, I'm going to be back in Ontario this Friday. I'm performing at Firewater Bar. If anybody's watching or listening, Ontario Firewater Bar this Friday.
Is anybody that you haven't worked with that you like to work with in the future?
Oh man, Jizza. I just want 8 bars from Jizza, or even like, I'd be happy with even 4. I know 4 sounds very short, but like if I just got 4 bars from Jizza, I'd be happy. But I'm a little sad that before I was very close to working with Doom before he passed, but he was always at the very top of my list that I really wanted to work with. But as far as MCs that are still here, Jizza, Ghostface, Method Man, I would love to work with Meth, Redman. As far as some of the more recent guys, he's been in the game for a minute, but Ab-Soul, I am a fan of Ab-Soul. I'd like to work with him. Producer wise, RZA, I'd love to work with RZA. Madlib, I'd love to work with Madlib. But those are the guys I pick because my favorite guys. I'm really grateful to say this. I've gotten to work with them. Primo, Pete Rock, and Pharoah Monch, and like I have to pinch myself sometimes because these are like my pinnacle guys. I'm like, wow, you know. And I also got to record a song with Sean Price, rest in peace, before he passed. And he was also with Doom. He was at the very top of the list with Doom to work with. And shout out to RA because he got to make that happen. So, but yeah, it's in the vault right now. But I have a song with Sean P that I'm really grateful for. And but yeah, those are probably my guys. And sadly, a lot of the guys I really, really wanted to work with have passed away, like Guru from Gangstar and Old Dirty. Like I would love to have an Old Dirty hook. That'd be insane, or just a verse from Guru. But as far as the guys those are the guys that I haven't worked with yet that I'd love to.
All right. Now, how you feel about hip hop? You know, last year was the 50th anniversary of hip hop. So how you feel like just where it's heading right now, as far as from your point of view?
For me, I've always felt like when people say hip hop is dead, I've always personally disagreed because I felt like it was always in the underground. If you didn't hear it in the radio at some point, you might have to go looking for it yourself, but it's there. It's there. And especially in the underground, or if still to this day. And I feel, and honestly, I feel like there is a really cool resurgence going on. Like I can't wait for this Common Pete Rock album. I can't wait for this Nas and Primo album that's finally been announced. I'm like, wow, after all these years, it's finally coming out. So I do feel like there's a really cool resurgence as far as like more in the public eye. But as far as like all these years, I feel like hip hop has always been alive. Maybe not in the public or the more mainstream view, but it's always been there. MCs have always been kicking ass. And producers have always been putting out quality projects, even when the mainstream was telling us that hip hop is dead. So that's just my personal sense, though, you know. And but I do feel it's still alive and well. It's thriving. Again, might have to look for it sometimes, but that's okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do they find it?
It's still there. Well, at YouTube, it's accessible. It's in front of us, you know, whether it's YouTube, whether it's live shows that you go to in your local shows. I guarantee there's a dope ass MC there that might not have as much coverage or as a big name, but he's dope. He's really dope. So it's there. It's for sure. Beat makers are still alive. Sampling might be a little crazy now. Don't get me wrong. The sampling is a whole other conversation. That's getting a little scarier now.
Why you say that?
Well, as far as beat making and samples, you can clear samples. Don't get me wrong. That's what I'm starting to learn more nowadays, is the clearing sample aspect of everything. Because as I was making beats, I was a little more ignorant or not understanding certain things. So, but the sampling now, I'm starting to realize, it's very easy to get sued. Very easy. So, but I do think sampling, the art of it, is getting a little bit more scared. People are more scared to sample now. I could feel it across the board on social media. But again, beat makers are still alive. It's just, I personally feel like sampling is getting a little scarier because it's nowadays it's extremely. They got machines now that could pick up a sample in 2 seconds. You know, like in a second, you're like, damn, I didn't think they pick it up. I'm like, damn.
Using that chat AI shit.
Yeah, now it's just advancing more and more, and it's now I don't want to take as much risks. And I can understand that a lot of other producers are in the same boat. They're like, I'm getting a little scared to sample. But me, I love sampling. There's just a special feel about it, and just chopping up samples, and it just gives your beat, I feel, an extra woomph. I have made no sample beats as well, sprinkled throughout, but a sampling beat is just magic to me, you know.
How do you find your samples?
Me, all over. I dig through vinyl. I go crate digging. I look on the net. I got TrackLib. That's how I've been clearing a couple of my samples here and there. So I got to shout out TrackLib. But I still dig through crates too. I still feel like that's the old school feel. That's like the heart of it as far as the sampling is digging through the crates, looking at the vinyl, listening to the vinyl, hearing what part you want to sample, and then you're like, yep, that's it. Like it's a great feeling. So I still stick with that. But I am surfing through TrackLib here and there because there's some dope shit out there that's that's floating around.
And then what's the message or legacy that you would like to leave in your music?
For me personally, just want people to be able to see me as like a cool example as far as like they could do it too. And I know that might sound cheesy, but it's true. That's one of the things that I carry in life is like, hey, if I'm able to reach to a point where I feel like I'm successful and that I've like technically made it, or however you view it, like I want to be able to pass that down to people that I really care about. So when people listen to my music, I just want them, just look at me as a good guy, just a good guy, normal dude who just wanted to dish out a bunch of projects and quality projects that people can enjoy. I just want to make timeless music and music that I look up to, like my Pete Rocks and Gangstars and Primos. Like I want to be able to dish out that same kind of quality for my fans, and but the moral aspect of it, just regular good dude, and just trying to pass down the torch. And when I get old, and when I get 60 or 70 years old, I want to be able to find another 20-year-old who's like in my shoes that I can pass that torch down to. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah, you just hope they gonna listen to you and not say you too old.
Right. And they're like, oh, you're dust, old man. Now you're just, sit down and watch me do the work now. I'm like, damn.
Right. I would say, but what kind of hitting on that right now, what advice would you give to a younger guy that wants to get into the MC game?
Just make sure that the passion is there. Make sure that you actually love it. Make sure that you care about it. I think that's one of the bigger first steps, because if you can go into something and not care about it, you can get pretty far, but like you're going to feel pretty empty. It's like you to have that joy and to remain with that heart. Just make sure whatever you go for, and if you want to go into MC, and make sure that you love it. Study the craft, study as much as you can, and make it into your own. And just don't do your fans wrong. Just treat the supporters nice that are really there for you, and make sure, and don't let anybody tell you how to create your music where it's going to hinder your process. Like, criticism is dope, criticism is great, 100%, but like don't let anybody try to tell you that you can't do shit. You're like, nah, you can't do that, you can't do that, because there's so many examples where people were told they couldn't do it, they ended up doing it. So just keep that with you while you're pursuing what you want to do.
And then what would you like to say to your fans and supporters?
Drawing board is out now, all platforms. Y'all go cop it. But thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Everybody watching, I really appreciate it. Much love. And I'm gonna get back to creating. I'm in a creative mode where I feel like I'm not able to be in that all the time. So I'm just running with it as much as I can. And I'm just grateful for everybody listening, that really tuning in,
Yeah, I'm saying, describe your creative process.
Me, I'm simple. I smoke a lot of tree. I probably watch a movie to get some inspiration from a character or like a line of dialogue. Maybe watch like Denzel Equalizer or Man on Fire like a couple hours ago, and rewatch it and just write a whole verse or something about it, or a whole song, and put my own twist on it. I just get inspiration from all kinds of, like, either movies or other artists, as far as like oldies, or like I'm a big Al Green guy, so I'll just think of I'll just think of their styles and just incorporate it in my own. So I just get influences from a bunch, but my creative process is simple: smoke tree, watch a movie, make a beat. If I like the beat enough, I'll rhyme to it, or I just record real quick. And yeah.
How did you come about with your name?
Afro. So I was looking in the mirror and I'm like, I like Afro. I like the dashes. but I want it to mean something. I'm like, it has to be an acronym for something. I went through 20 of them, and I'm like, Africans fighting racism and oppression. That's a little too heavy. So I'm like, next one.
Hey, that's what they said on the Boondocks, didn't it?
I might have. I'm a big Boondocks guy. So that's probably where I got it from.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, it's a little too heavy for me. I need something that's just a little bit more universal as far as like just a musically. And then after 20 of them, I landed with All Flows Reach Out. And immediately when I picked that one out, I was like, I like the sound of it, but I wasn't married to it yet. And then a couple years go by where I'm going across Europe and I'm starting to gain a little bit of more of a buzz and more of a following. And I'm like, oh, All Flows Reach Out. Now I like it more. I started to like it more as the years went by. So I was like, I was even considering changing it in the first like 1 or 2 years where I was becoming more public. I'm like, it's okay. But then I started liking it more as the years went by.
You weren't on the Boondocks, were you?
No. Oh man, I would have loved to be on the Boondocks. That's my favorite show of all time. I would have loved to be on it, but no, I haven't been on it. I'm a little bit younger too. I'm a little bit younger than when the third season was airing. I know there's a fourth season, but I'm a little bit younger.
Yeah, I ain't like that. That last season wasn't really that good. The first three was good though. But I would say yeah. I noticed a couple scenes you didn't have no hair yet. So did you like you took the name in, then you grew it out?
No, I actually went through a very bad car accident in 2014.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It was literally a couple weeks before everything started to happen for me. Like it was insane. Like I busted 9 ribs. I broke 9 ribs and I broke 2 bones in my vertebrae. Yeah. And I was in the passenger seat. And it was pretty bad, but it's crazy how life works because literally 2-3 weeks later, that's when RA discovered me. Man, at the time, for people who don't know, RA at the time, I'm a big fan of from the jump, even when he reached out to me. So to have one of my favorite MCs of all time reach out to me, I'm like, yo, it was unbelievable. So just that switch from in a 3 or 4 week span, like from just being banged up and then having everything happen. It was pretty, everything happened pretty fast, but yeah, that's what happened around that time.
When I hear about car accidents, I be thinking about Kanye too. So it's kind of similar to Kanye. Yeah, kind of similar.
Yeah. And I feel that I can really relate to that one through The Wire. Yeah, absolutely.
How's your body? Is your body healed, or you still be like going through pains and stuff?
I'm cool. I'm grateful. I'm feeling good. I get some cricks and cracks here and there, but I just blame it on, even though I'm young, I'm just blaming it on my bones. I'm like, maybe I'm getting older, even if I'm 26. But I also played a lot of football too when I was in high school. So we got a lot of like injuries on the fields. Well, not injuries, but we got bruised up on the field as well.
Got that CTE.
Thank goodness I didn't get no concussion. Thank goodness. I'm grateful for that. But yeah, so I sometimes I equate it to that too. I'm like, hey, maybe some of the cricks and cracks in my bones are from the football days too, but it could be a combination. I'm great. I'm good. I'm just grateful. I'm good.
All right. Well, I want to say thank you for coming through politicking with me.
No problem, yo. Thank you for having me, bro. And my apologies if some of my answers can be long-winded sometimes. It's also the Chiba sometimes. So
no, we good, man.
It's a little long-winded sometimes.
No, man, we good, man. You talk as long as you want, man. We ain't got no time restrictions over here.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Well, thank you for having me, bro. Yeah, man.
I want to say, you got any shout-outs? You want to tell them how to hit you up on social media?
Yeah. You can reach out to me, Afro with the dashes, on YouTube. Or if you look up Afro Rapper, All Flows Reach Out, that all pops up. I review movies on a YouTube channel, Fro Thizzle Reviews, but I also review games, albums, movies, commentaries. That's where I nerd out. If you're a movie nerd and you just want to have fun and just talk about like various sorts of entertainment, Fro Thizzle Reviews. Check it out if you can.
How they find it? Is it on your Instagram page?
Yeah, you can find a YouTube link on my Instagram page. Same thing, Fro Thizzle Reviews. And yeah, also if you punch it into YouTube as well.
I saw you on when I was watching the Posse cut, I saw you kept on showing up James Bond. So I was like, "Do he play games?" I was like, "Man, he probably do play games because I'm a big gamer too." So I was wondering, like he play games. I wasn't sure.
To be honest, I'm more of a movie nerd than a game nerd. I know I've played a couple games here and there growing up, and I'm familiar with quite a bit, and I know names, but like there's still a lot of classic games that I personally need to play. So I wouldn't consider myself really a more of a gamer, even though I can get into them. But movies, I always tell them on my channel, I'm like, movies is more of like my stronger point. But once in a while, I'll throw a gaming commentary or something while I'm just playing like Mass Effect or Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or just something. Def Jam Fight Friend Y is my favorite game, so
I love that game.
I'll put some gameplays on the channel just for the.
I got a wrestling league I made, and I made one of the shows because you know how you got I don't know if you know WWE, but they got it where you can make the universe. So one of my shows on my universe is Def Jam. So I just recreated the whole how they had the background. I got all the wrestlers from Def Jam on there.
That's what's up.
They need to come out that shit again though. That shit was hard.
Well, somebody they had a big petition going on to bring back Fight for NY, and it had a bunch of signatures if I recall, but they just won't do it. And I think somebody made a decent point. They were like, yo, there's a lot of rights going on with the music and the rappers. There's a bunch of copyright material that they have to pay for, even though I'm sure they have millions of dollars they can handle for it. But when I think about it, if you amount all those rappers and the songs and the likenesses and everything attached to it, I'm like, damn, that's probably a lot of damn money. and that's not even developing the game yet. I'm sure the game is also a lot of money too. So I'm like, that kind of makes sense as far as the copyright and all the material going on for a new one or a remaster. But I need it. I need a remaster. I need that or another new Def Jam fighting game that's as great as the second one. Because the third one, Icon, I wasn't a big fan of. There was things I liked about it, but the pinnacle for me was Fight for NY. I'm like, wow, it's just flawless for me.
I would say, what's the first system you started on?
My earliest memory, I'm a little bit younger, but the early Xbox, the black and green one, the first Xbox. That's my earliest memory.
That was up. Yeah, then I was saying, I don't know. I'm kind of like, you was naming some of the movies I watch, but man, I'm kind of like, now I'm kind of jaded, bro, because all I watch is like mostly like just hood movies and like.
I love those too. Yeah. I
like Tubi.
I'm on Tubi all day,
bro.
I'm on Tubi all day.
Why are you watching the old ass movies? That's my shit, Tubi.
I think people be sleeping on Tubi, bro. There's a lot of great stuff on Tubi. Like, there's some dope shit on there. Like,
since you're a movie fan, man, I'm gonna give you a movie to watch if you haven't seen it on there.
Which
but
one?
Jaleel White is on a movie on there called "Who Moved My Potato Salad."
Who Moved My Potato Salad?
That shit's hilarious. And it got Pinky on there from next Friday.
Clifton Powell. Wow, that's great.
That shit's hilarious, bro.
That's on my. That's going on. Yeah. That's going on my watch list immediately. That's awesome.
It already let you know by the name that shit ignorant. Who moved my potato salad?
Yeah, that's a crazy title. It's gonna be crazy bananas.
All right, man. Well, yeah, just much continued success, man. Thanks for the interview, and we'll get at you, bro.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you for having me, bro.
All right, y'all. We out, y'all. Till the next time.